Hi, so our video is on classroom transitions. It's based on secondary 1 classroom, and it's when they're going to be working on a group project and they're going to transfer into an individual project.
Okay, hi guys. So today we'll have 2 activities. So the first one is in team. So you remember last class we did it, so we'll have to continue this. And after we'll have individual work. So now you can start with the teamwork. Go! So guys, now it's time for individual work. So let's go. Go do your individual work. Go to your desk. I have a question. All right. What is your question? Individual work, everybody. Go, go, go. It's too long. Let's go. Come on, guys. Individual work. I told you. Let's go.
I don't want to.
Go to your desk. Let's go. Okay, bye. Okay, guys, let's go. Let's go. Come on, that's not very nice.
Okay, in this video you can see that the teacher is not in control of her classroom at all. First, she sends her students off to task and she tells them they're going to do a group and individual activity afterwards. She doesn't tell them how much time the group activity will be, and she doesn't tell them what will be the signal to do the transition from one activity to another. When she wants a student to stop, to move to the individual activity, she only yells in the class, okay, stop, we're moving to the individual activity. At that moment, some students are raising their hands because they have questions to ask. Instead of staying in front of the class and making sure that all the students were moving from the group activity to the individual activity, the teacher started to go to some students and answer their questions individually. While answering the questions, all the students kept on chatting with their friends, laughing, having fun with their friends, and they were not going to do their individual task. So she got very frustrated and she left the classroom. She left the students alone in the classroom so they could do whatever they want. When she came back, she was still very frustrated, very annoyed. She wasn't calm at all. She had a lot of facial expressions that was expressing her frustrations to the students. And she started screaming and yelling at the students. What the teacher should have done is that previously, in the previous class, she should have teach the students what was a transition moment, what was the purpose of a transition time. She should have told them what signal she would use between one and another activity. She should also have told the students how much time she's giving them to switch from one activity to another. She should have provided a visual checklist to the students to tell them what were the steps when we're moving from a group activity to an individual activity. And she should have modeled the transition with the students. After teaching the transition time, the transition system with the students, she should have rehearsed with them. So she should have pretend there was a real class situation, a real transition time situation, and practice with them to make sure that they knew how to act in a moment like this. Also, it's very important that the teacher reinforce the transition time signal before every activity. So let's say today we're doing a group and an individual activity. Before starting my class, I'm going to remind my students that my tip, for example, to tell them that we're switching from one activity to another, is to flash the lights and make sure that all the students remembers that.
Tatsuki.
Ok.
Ça va bien aller. Ça va
Il
bien.
me reste 3 minutes. Hi guys, how are you?
Good.
Alright, good, thank you. So, you have the instructions there on the board of what we are going to do, but first I want to tell you exactly what you are going to do. Okay. So, you remember your teams from last week, the project we did. Alright, so we're going to continue that. But first I want to show you how we are going to proceed, because after that you will have some individual work to do. Okay? Now, when I say go, you will gather in your teams, okay? You will go to your team, and when I flick the light like that, okay? It means that there are 2 minutes left before you go back to your seat and start working individually, okay? Now, when I do this, it means that it's time to go to your place, okay? Do it quick. Pack your stuff and go back to your place, all right? Go!
Okay.
Alright, 2 minutes.
We gotta go. See ya.
There are 2 minutes.
Oh, 2 minutes left.
Okay, now
The
go
final
back
one.
Very good. Now you can start working it individually. Thank you.
In the second part of the video, you can see that the teacher is in total control of her classroom. First, the teams have been pre-established before. Second, she gives enough material to the students to keep them busy even after the main activity. And third, a transition signal has been agreed upon with the students before. In the video, you can see that this signal is actually put to use when she flashes the light to go from the main activity to the individual work. And you can see how the students react to it, that they have understood the signal and that they know exactly what to do. Several signals can be agreed upon. You can use clapping your hands, you can use a timer on the board, or you could also use an alarm on your desk. The important thing is that if you want your signal to be as efficient as possible, you must give your signal in the place that you want your students' attention.
Blame me.